A show that has already sold out every single ad slot, shattered a pre-order record, and pulled in more than 120 million yuan before a single sponsor even knew what day it would air, still doesn't have an official release date. That gap is the story nobody's really telling, and it's exactly the kind of detail rabbit news Hallyu exists to chase down. This second Too Much, the Republican-era romance starring zhanglinghe and Wang Churan, has done something very few dramas manage before premiere week even starts. It's crossed 10,000 on the Baidu search index. It's pulled in more than 6 million combined pre-orders across Tencent Video and iQIYI, breaking the existing record for a Republican-era drama. It's landed more than 20 brand partnerships worth over 120 million yuan, with every ad slot already sold. And one of the most common searches attached to the show right now roughly translates to "when is this level of hype actually going to end?" That's not a fan asking when the premiere is. That's a fan asking when the waiting stops. The show comes from Yi Jun, who previously directed Bloody Romance, adapting a web novel about a young heir who saves his family, survives a massacre, reunites with the woman he loves, watches her fake her own death, and then, 3 years later, finds her back in his life as his brother's future wife. What follows is a forbidden, tragic love story built on debts of survival, family feuds, and impossible choices made under the weight of a collapsing era. It's the kind of premise built for maximum emotional stakes, and the pre-release numbers suggest audiences are already responding to it before a single episode has aired. Here's what most coverage has skipped past. A show this deep into pre-launch commercial territory, sold-out ads, a record-breaking pre-order count, top rankings on 2 major platforms simultaneously, should, under normal circumstances, already have a locked date on the calendar. Sponsors generally don't commit 9 figures in ad spend without a release window attached to it. And yet the most concrete date anyone can currently point to is a rumor, July 29th, repeated widely enough across fan spaces that it's treated as settled fact in some corners of the internet, but never confirmed by either platform. That's the unusual part. Not that delays happen in this industry, they happen constantly. What's unusual is how far this particular project has already traveled commercially before that one basic piece of information exists. But there's a detail sitting quietly in the scheduling logistics that's doing more work than it looks like it's doing. This second Too Much is set to broadcast simultaneously across 2 platforms, Tencent Video and iQIYI, and coordinating a joint release always adds friction to any launch calendar. That alone could explain part of the delay. What makes this specific moment worth pausing on is the timing. New industry regulations governing on-screen crediting take effect July 10, 2026, and production teams are required to adjust their materials to comply before broadcast. For a show that's already juggling a dual-platform release, that's not a small administrative footnote sitting off to the side. That's a compliance deadline landing directly on top of a launch window, in the same narrow stretch of time. Put those 2 facts next to each other, and the picture shifts. This doesn't necessarily read as a platform sitting on a finished product to manufacture suspense. It could just as easily be a production working through a genuine regulatory adjustment at the exact moment it needs to finalize a joint broadcast schedule with a second platform. Industry observers might reasonably interpret the missing date less as a deliberate marketing withhold and more as the practical reality of 2 platforms and a compliance clock trying to land on the same calendar day. For the people actually stepping in front of the camera, that kind of open-ended uncertainty carries its own weight. Zhanglinghe and Wang Churan are headlining a project that's already being treated as a commercial benchmark before a single performance has been publicly judged. A pre-order record puts real pressure on work nobody outside the production has fully seen yet. Staying publicly quiet while a release date circulates as rumor rather than confirmed fact is, in its own way, a professional position. Neither actor has addressed the July 29th date directly, which lines up with how talent on high-stakes productions typically handle unconfirmed release information. Let the platform own the announcement, don't get out ahead of the studio's timeline. But there's a curiosity gap worth naming directly here, because the biggest clue in this story isn't the missing date itself. It's the reason nobody's connected it to a regulation most casual viewers have never heard of. Online, the reaction has already split into something more specific than the usual pre-release buzz. A leaked on-set clip showing a Princess Carrie scene in soaked costuming picked up more than 8 million likes on Douyin, which tells you the appetite for this show is already operating independently of an actual air date. Fans are consuming fragments, leaked photos, short clips, search trend data, because the finished product isn't available yet, and each fragment is functioning as a stand-in for the show itself. That's a pattern that shows up reliably whenever anticipation outpaces confirmed information. Audiences fill the gap with whatever content exists, official or not, and the fragments start circulating with a confidence the source material hasn't actually earned yet. Here's where this stops being a story about one drama. If the timing lines up the way the available information suggests, a joint platform broadcast that needs finalizing right as new crediting rules take effect, this isn't a scheduling quirk unique to this second too much. It reads more like an early preview of what a tightening regulatory environment looks like across the entire C-drama pipeline, particularly for co-productions and simultaneous dual-platform releases, which are becoming more common as streamers try to maximize reach for their biggest bets. A show operating at this commercial scale running into a compliance step on its way to air suggests other productions built on similar release structures could be navigating comparable friction, whether or not it's visible to their audiences. That reframes the missing date entirely. It isn't evidence of a production in trouble, nothing in the available information points to internal conflict or a crisis behind the scenes. But it is a specific, verifiable data point showing that even a show with every commercial box already checked can't fully control its own release timeline once a regulatory requirement enters the picture. For an industry that increasingly leans on massive pre-launch campaigns, building 6-figure pre-order counts and 9-figure sponsorship deals months before a premiere, that's a detail worth tracking. The bigger the machine gets, the more moving parts have to line up, and crediting compliance is turning out to be one more variable platforms now have to plan around, alongside talent schedules and content approval. None of this means July 29th is the wrong date. It might land exactly there. But the confidence with which that date is circulating online outpaces what's actually been confirmed by either platform, and the gap between those two things likely has less to do with mystery and more to do with the unglamorous mechanics of getting two platforms and a new regulation to agree on the same calendar square. What's already clear is that this second too much has won the harder battle first, building 6 million pre-orders and locking in sponsors before proving anything on screen. Whether it premieres on July 29th or lands somewhere after, the show has already demonstrated something the industry will likely study regardless of the exact date. Audience appetite can now be built almost entirely on pre-release signals, ad money included, before a single frame airs publicly. The date is still the one piece of this puzzle nobody official has confirmed, and that detail says more about how this industry currently operates than most of the coverage racing to guess the premiere ever will. If you like entertainment stories that go past the headline, the kind that catch the quiet signals most coverage skips, Rabbit News Hallyu is built exactly for that. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just news.